The level of success you achieve will be in direct proportion to the depth of your commitment. You have a unique gift to offer this world. Be true to yourself, be kind to yourself, read and learn about everything that interests you, and keep away from people who bring you down. When you treat yourself kindly and respect the uniqueness of those around you, you will be giving this world an amazing gift. You act as if you're a wealthy man, rich already, and then you'll surely become rich. Act as if you have unmatched confidence, and then people will surely have confidence in you. Act as if you have unmatched experience, and then people will follow your advice. And act as if you are already a tremendous success, and as sure as I stand here today, you will become successful. One of the lessons that I grew up with was to always stay true to yourself, and never let what somebody else says distract you from your goals. And so when I hear about negative and false attacks, I really don't invest any energy in them, because I know who I am. You're frustrated because you keep waiting for the blooming of flowers of which you have yet to sow the seeds. Be curious about the world in which you live. Look things up, chase down every reference. Go deeper than anybody else, that's how you'll get ahead. The real glory is being knocked to your knees and then coming back. That's real glory. That's the essence of it. Small, good decisions will lead you to the glorious path of a huge success. Decide what you want to be, pay the price, and be what you want to be. Eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all humanity. Because a negative attitude toward others can never bring you success. It will cause others to believe in me, because you believe in them and in yourself. Don't look so worried. Most successful missions are just a series of barely averted disasters. Remember your greatness before you were born and were still too tiny for the human eye to see. You won the race for life from among 250 million competitors, and yet, how fast you have forgotten your strength when your very existence is proof of your greatness. You were born a winner, a warrior, one who defied the odds by surviving the most gruesome battle of them all. And now that you are a giant, why do you even doubt victory against smaller numbers and wider margins? The only walls that exist are those you have placed in your mind, and whatever obstacles you conceive exist only because you have forgotten what you have already achieved. As Aristotle said, excellence is a habit. I would say furthermore that excellence is made constant through the feeling that comes right after one has completed a work which he himself finds undeniably awe-inspiring. Courage to me is doing something daring. No matter how afraid, insecure, intimidated, alone, unworthy, incapable, ridiculed, or whatever other paralyzing emotion you might feel. Courage is taking action no matter what. You're afraid. Be afraid. Be scared silly to the point you're trembling and nauseous, but do it anyway. I am not a victim. No matter what I have been through, I'm still here. I have a history of victory. There are no secrets to success. Don't waste time looking for them. Success is the result of perfection, hard work, learning from failure, loyalty to those for whom you work, and persistence. Desire is the key to motivation, but it's determination and commitment to an unrelenting pursuit of your goal. A commitment to excellence that will enable you to attain the success you seek. Your success and happiness lie in you. It doesn't matter how great your shoes are if you don't accomplish anything in them. Anyone who imagines they can work alone winds up surrounded by nothing but rivals, without companions. The fact is, no one ascends alone. Sure, it could get rough sometimes, but life wasn't a Hollywood movie. Shit happened. You fought, you screamed, and somehow you worked like hell to get out the other side still intact. It is in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. What do you mean you have to wait for someone's approval? You someone, your approval. So, you give yourself permission to move forward with your full support. Successful people enjoy the journeys they embark on, irrespective of whether they reach their destination or not. Pretend that every single person you meet has a sign around his or her neck that says, "Make me feel important." Not only will you succeed in sales, you will succeed in life. Those who don't jump will never fly. Don't set your goals by what other people deem important. To be heroic is to be courageous enough to die for something. To be inspirational is to be crazy enough to live a little. If you're waiting until you feel talented enough to make it, you'll never make it. Who you are tomorrow begins with what you do today. Don't give up. It's not over. The universe is balanced. Every setback bear with it the seeds of a comeback. When emerging from humble beginnings, those around you tend to underestimate your authenticity because they knew you before you were somebody. The question we need to ask ourselves is, what is success to us? More money? That's fine. A healthy family, a happy marriage, helping others, to be famous, spiritual sound, to express ourselves, to create art, to leave the world a better place than we found it. What is success to me? Continue to ask yourself that question. How are you prosperous? What is your relevance? Your answer may change over time, and that's fine. But do yourself this favor, whatever your answer is, don't choose anything that would jeopardize your soul. Prioritize who you are, who you want to be, and don't spend time with anything that antagonizes your character. Don't depend on drinking Kool-Aid. It's popular, tastes sweet today, but it will give you cavities tomorrow. Life is not a popularity contest. Be brave, take the hill. But first answer the question. If you're not gonna go all the way, why go at all? The most important thing is this: to sacrifice what you are now for what you can become tomorrow. Early success is a terrible teacher. You're essentially being rewarded for a lack of preparation. So when you find yourself in a situation where you must prepare, you can't do it. You don't know how. When you go in search of honey, you must expect to be stung by bees. You make mistakes, mistakes don't make you. The secret to doing anything is believing that you can do it. Anything that you believe you can do strong enough, you can do. Anything. If you believe, nearly only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Your story may not have such a happy beginning, but that does not make you who you are. It is the rest of it who you choose to be. I am so grateful for my troubles. As I reflect back on my life, I have come to realize that my greatest triumphs have been born of my greatest troubles. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. Failure is an opportunity. If you blame someone else, there is no end to the blame. Therefore, fulfills your own obligations and correct your own mistakes. Do what you need to do and demands nothing of others. Sure, I am this day we are masters of our fate. That the task which has been set before us is not above our strength, that its pangs and toils are not beyond our endurance. As long as we have faith in our own cause and an unconquerable will to win, victory will not be denied us. When you fail, that is when you get closer to success. As long as you gave everything you had and you didn't let it break you, it could never be considered a failure. Whole life is a search for beauty. But when the beauty is found inside, the search ends and a beautiful journey begins. Feed the soul beauty, and it will heal itself. With one day's reading, a man may have the key in his hands. The secret of success in life is for a man to be ready for his opportunity when it comes. Your life begins to change the day you take responsibility for it. Fear can only grow in darkness. Once you face fear with light, you win. I was taught to strive not because there were any guarantees of success, but because the act of striving is in itself the only way to keep faith with life. You can't just wish change, you have to live the change in order for it to become a reality. The bottom line is, insults only hurt when they come from someone I respect. It is not a failure to readjust your sails to fit the waters find myself in. He will know from an early age that failure is not disgrace. It's just a pitch that you missed, and you'd better get ready for the next one. The next one might be the shot heard round the world. My son and I are Americans. We prepare for glory by failing until we don't. Whatever you do, do it with purpose. Being focused is not something to be ashamed of. It is something to be proud of. When you know what you are doing and have a clear vision of where you are going, you will not need to chase opportunities. Opportunities will seek you. Happiness will chase you. And, instead of being a choice, you will be the one choosing. It's in those quiet little towns, at the edge of the world, that you will find the salt of the earth, people who make you feel right at home. If you want to find happiness, find gratitude. I never fail. It's just that the people around me succeed more than I. It is not the possession of truth, but the success which attends the seeking after it, that enriches the seeker and brings happiness to him. If you really want the key to success, start by doing the opposite of what everyone else is doing. It is not as much about who you used to be as it is about who you choose to be. Learn to adapt. Things change, circumstances change. Adjust yourself and your efforts to what is presented to you so you can respond accordingly. Never see change as a threat, because it can be an opportunity to learn, to grow, evolve, and become a better person. Success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying fundamentals. The difference between greed and ambition is a greedy person desires things he isn't prepared to work for. Some say if you want success, surround yourself with successful people. I say if you want true and lasting success, surround yourself with people of integrity. Life is a balanced system of learning and evolution. Whether pleasure or pain, every situation in your life serves a purpose. It is up to us to recognize what that purpose could be. If you want to give yourself a fair chance to succeed, never expect too much too soon. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. When we start being too impressed by the results of our work, we slowly come to the erroneous conviction that life is one large scoreboard where someone is listing the points to measure our worth. And before we are fully aware of it, We have sold our soul to the many great givers. That means we are not only in the world, but also of the world. Then we become what the world makes us. We are intelligent because someone gives us a high grade. We are helpful because someone says thanks. We are likable because someone likes us. And we are important because someone considers us indispensable. In short, we are worthwhile because we have successes. And the more we allow our accomplishments, the results of our actions, to become the criteria of our self-esteem, the more we are going to walk on our mental and spiritual toes, never sure if we will be able to live up to the expectations which we created by our last successes. In many people's lives, there is a nearly diabolic chain in which their anxieties grow according to their successes. This dark power has driven many of the greatest artists into self-destruction. Soar with integrity. Conquer with dignity. Handle with care. Why be a man when you can be a success? One of the most healing things you can do is recognize where in your life you are your own poison. With ordinary talent and extraordinary perseverance, all things are attainable. What seems to us as bitter trials are often blessings in disguise. The distance between insanity and genius is measured only by success. Are you going to allow the world around you to change while you remain stagnant? Make this the time you throw away old habits that have hindered your happiness and success, and finally allow your greatest self to flourish. Don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great. How would your life be different if you pretended those around you were deaf to your words? Let today be the day you let your actions speak and communicate your feelings and intentions. Don't be afraid of failure. This is the way to succeed. I cannot say this too strongly. Do not compare yourselves to others. Be true to who you are and continue to learn with all your might. Life itself is simple, it's just not easy. You've been given the innate power to shape your life. But you cannot just speak change, you have to live change. Intent paired with action builds the bridge to success. You can't just want it, you must do it, live it, be it. Success isn't something you have, it's something you do. You are where you are right now because of the actions you've taken. Or maybe, the inaction you've taken. Life's trials will test you and shape you, but don't let them change who you are. There is absolutely no greater high than challenging the power structure as a nobody, giving it your all, and winning. If you don't know exactly where you're going, how will you know when you get there? God's word is not just to be heard and repeated. It is to be breathed, lived, and emulated with each action. Sometimes not getting what you want is a brilliant stroke of luck. As naturally as the ruled always took the morality imposed upon them more seriously than did the rulers themselves, the deceived masses are today captivated by the myth of success even more than the successful are. Immovably, they insist on the very ideology which enslaves them. The misplaced love of the common people for the wrong which is done to them is a greater force than the cunning of the authorities. To become successful, one must put themselves in the paths of giants. Sometimes success demands a certain refined insanity. Flaming enthusiasm, backed by horse sense and persistence, is the quality that most frequently makes for success. The problem for a lot of people is that they don't really know what they want. They have vague desire to do something creative or to earn more money or to be free, but they can't really pin down what it is precisely that they want. So they drift from one thing to another, enjoying some moments and hating others, but never really finding fulfillment or success. This is why it's hard to lead a successful life, whatever that means to you, when you don't know what you want. I think for anyone to become good at something, they must fail a lot too. And they must be completely unafraid to fail, or they'll never make it to the next level. Start before you're ready. Don't prepare, begin. Beating the competition is relatively easy. Beating yourself is a never-ending commitment. The universe is not outside of you. Look inside yourself. Everything that you want, you already are. To earn more, you must learn more. At some point, you just gotta forgive the past. Your happiness hinges on it. The hardest part of any important task is getting started on it in the first place. Once you begin work on a valuable task, you seem to be naturally motivated to continue. The difference between success and failure is not giving up. I don't do that kind of negativity. If you put your energy into thinking about how much the fall would hurt, you're already halfway down. Success is the doing, not the getting, in the trying, not the triumph. Success is a personal standard, reaching for the highest that is in us, becoming all that we can be. If we do our best, we are a success. So here I sit, a sum of the parts, about a third way down this wonderful path, so to speak. And I've been thinking lately about a friendship that fell apart with time, with distance, and with the misunderstanding of youth. I'm trying not to confuse sadness with regret. Not the easiest thing at times. I don't regret that certain things happened. I understand that perhaps I had a choice in the matter, Or perhaps I believe in fate. Probably not, but so far actions as small as the quickest glance to events as monumental as death have pushed me slowly along to right here, right now. There was no other way to get here. The meandering and erratic path was actually the straightest of lines. Take away a handful of angry words, things once thought of as mistakes or regrets, and I'm suddenly a different person with a different history, a different future that I would regret. So here I sit, thinking about a person I once called my best friends, a man who might be full of sadness and regret, who might not give a damn, or who might, just might, remember the future and realize that's where it's at. You have been blessed with immeasurable power to make positive changes in your life. Don't waste your time hating a failure. Failure is a greater teacher than success. Listen, learn, go on, take your victories. Whatever they may be, cherish them, use them, but don't settle for them. Go as far as you can see and you will see further. Play around, dive into absurdity and write. Take chances. You will succeed if you are fearless of failure. Never be surprised by your own success. Success comes in a lot of ways, but it doesn't come with money. And it doesn't come with fame. It comes from having a meaning in your life, doing what you love and being passionate about what you do. That's having a life of success. When you have the ability to do what you love what you do, and it could impact people, that's having a life of success. That's what having a life of meaning is. Your agreement with reality defines your life. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Success is not a comparison of what we have done with what others have done. Once you can clarify your unique vision for the end goal, comfort, happiness, security, etc., you can get started on the path toward the reality of success. Success is doing what you want to do, when you want, where you want, with whom you want, as much as you want. If you really want to eat, keep climbing. The fruits are on the top of the tree. Stretch your hands and keep stretching them. Success is on the top, keep going. If you feel obsessed to prove something to the world, then you'd need world attention to be able to prove it. Beware of those who criticize you when you deserve some praise for an achievement, for it is they who secretly desire to be worshipped. People can change anything they want to, and that means everything in the world. There is no secret ingredient. Your mind can be your enemy or friend. If you always follow your heart, your mind will feel neglected. If you follow only your mind, your heart will never forgive you. Never ignore your conscience, yet always be conscious of reason. Make your heart and mind friends, and you will have peace of mind throughout life's seasons. Even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. The people who stand before kings may look like they did it all by themselves, but in fact they are invariably the beneficiaries of hidden advantages and extraordinary opportunities and cultural legacies that allow them to learn and work hard and make sense of the world in ways others cannot. It makes a difference where and when we grew up. The culture we belong to and the legacies passed down by our forebears shape the patterns of our achievements in ways we cannot begin to imagine. It's not enough to ask what successful people are like. In other words, it is only by asking where they are from that we can unravel the logic behind who succeeds and who doesn't. Explore, experience, then push beyond. An average person with average talent, ambition and education can outstrip the most brilliant genius in our society if that person has clear, focused goals. My life changed the day I moved beyond just wishing for things, and I started earning them. That is the day I learned that we don't get what we wish for, we get what we work for. The key to flow is to pursue an activity for its own sake, not for the rewards it brings. Your life only gets better when you get better. Success and failure, ultimately, have little to do with living the gospel. Jesus just stood with the outcasts until they were welcomed, or until he was crucified, whichever came first.